So yes, today's topic would be ethers. Today's topic would be ethers. Okay, ethers. Now, as we all know, what are ethers? Ethers are compounds. Okay, ethers are class of compounds in which the two alkyl groups are bonded together by an oxygen atom like this. Right? So these are known as ethers. And the oxygen atom, it bears a lone pair of electron. It bears two lone pair of electron. Okay, so this class of compounds are known as ethers. Now, you should be knowing, okay, how do you name ethers according to your IUPAC system of nomenclature? Yes, Utsha, how do you name ethers according to your IUPAC name? Utsha, how do you name ethers according to your IUPAC name? How are ethers named? Any idea? So, according to your IUPAC nomenclature, according to your IUPAC nomenclature, ethers are named as alkoxyalkanes. Ethers are named as alkoxyalkane. Okay, ethers are named as alkoxyalkane. And remember, the smaller alkyl group, is named with oxygen atom. The smaller alkyl group is named with your oxygen atom. That means the smaller alkyl group is named as your alkoxy group, right? Whereas the larger alkyl group constitutes your alkanes. Okay, so ethers are named as your alkoxy alkanes, and the smaller alkyl group is named with the oxygen atom. So this IUPAC nomenclature should be very clear, right? Or else we won't be able to solve questions on this particular topic. Okay, so let us again do a few problems related to this IUPAC. So number one, say what would be the name of this ether? Now in this case, both the alkyl groups are same. If both the alkyl groups are similar, these are known as symmetrical ethers. Right? Okay. Now both the alkyl groups are same. So anyone can be named as an alkoxy. So what would be the name of this compound? Yes, please.
Methoxy.
Very good. So anyone is named with the oxygen. Both the contain the same number of carbon atom. So methoxymethane. Very good. Exactly. Okay. So its name is here methoxy methane. It's methoxymethane. Okay. It's methoxymethane. Okay. So let us move towards the second one. Now suppose I have this. So remember, this common name is here dimethyl ether. Right? It's named as dimethyl ether. That's the common name. IUPAC name is methoxymethane. Okay. So out here, it's an unsymmetrical ether. Why unsymmetrical? Both the alkyl groups are different. In this case, the smaller alkyl group is methyl. So the smaller alkyl group is named with oxygen, that is named as alkoxy. The smaller alkyl group is named as alkoxy. So what will be the name of this compound? Yes, tell me. What should be the name?
Methoxy.
Very good. So smaller alkyl group is named as alkoxy. So this is the smaller alkyl group. So methoxyethane. It's methoxyethane. It's methoxyethane. It's methoxyethane. Okay. That's quite easy. Okay. So let us move towards the third one. What about this? What about this? So this is the methoxy alkoxy part. Methoxy propane. Okay, yes, it should be methoxy propane. It should be methoxy propane. It should be methoxy propane. I'll give you another one. Okay. So what would be the IUPAC name of this ether now? What would be the name, IUPAC name of this ether? So this is methoxypropane. Here also the smaller alkyl group is methyl. So this is the methoxy part. So how will I name this ether? So obviously the alkane part, the longest continuous carbon chain contains 3 carbon atoms. So the word root is again propane. So, but is this compound and is this compound same? So this is methoxypropane. So will you name it this as methoxypropane? Obviously not. Now here we see this is the longest continuous carbon chain. So I'll just start numbering from one end. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fine. So again I told you the longest continuous carbon chain contains 3 carbon atoms. In this case, the methoxy group is bonded to which carbon atom of the parent chain? Tell me. The methoxy group is bonded to which carbon atom?
Second.
Second. Very good. So what would be the name? Its name would be 2-methoxypropane. Okay, that means the methoxy is bonded to the second carbon atom. So 2-methoxypropane. So we'll name this just as methoxypropane. Okay, this is your 2-methoxypropane. Fine. So number 5. What would be the common name of this ether? The fourth one. What would be the common name? Now, which group is present out here? Methyl group is present. Here we have an isopropyl group. Iso grouping is present. Eh? So methyl isopropyl ether. The common name is here methyl. One alkyl group is here methyl. The other alkyl group is here isopropyl ether. Right? Now, yes, think of it and just name this compound. The fifth one. Chalo, chalo, chalo. It's very important. Eh? Yeah, it's very, very, very important. Yes, what would be the name? Again, the smaller alkyl group is methyl. So there is the methoxy part. So longest continuous carbon chain contains again 3 carbon atom. Now we have a methoxy group as well as a methyl group. Right? We have a methoxy group as well as a methyl group bonded to the second carbon. Which will you name first? What is the name of this? The name of this is methoxy. And the name of this is methyl. Which will you write down first? Eh? Which are you going to write down first? So the one which comes first in the alphabetical order, see, there is a meth out here. There is a meth out here. Tie. Now the tie is broken from the fifth alphabet. Eh? So here there is O, here there is Y. Which will come first, O or Y? O. O is going to come up first. Till meet the same way, we have to look for the next alphabet. O comes first before Y. So the name of this compound would be 2-methoxy, 2-methyl propane. 2-methoxy, 2-methyl propane. Okay, 2-methoxy, 2-methyl propane. What would be the common name? Methyl tertiary butyl. We have a tertiary butyl group out here. Right? We have an isopropyl group out here. So methyl isopropyl ether, methyl tertiary butyl ether out here. Okay. So last one, huh? Last one. So suppose I have CH3O. It's bonded to a phenyl group out here. So yes, what would be the name? What would be the name? Yes, give it a try. Methoxybenzene. Its name would be methoxybenzene or methyl phenyl ether or methoxybenzene. And please remember, the common name of this ether is anisole. The common name of this ether will be anisole. Okay, the common name of this ether will be anisole. So this is how we name ethers according to your IUPAC system of nomenclature. Okay, so you should have a clear idea about the IUPAC nomenclature, or we'll be having problems during the preparation. Okay, because names of compound will be given. Eh? Okay, so this is all about your IUPAC nomenclature. Now, again, let us move towards the preparation. So preparation, as far as the preparation of ethers are concerned, okay, there are just two methods of preparation and both are really important. So one preparation had come previously in your board level. Okay. So let us see preparation. So next topic, write down preparation of ethers. So next topic, kindly write it down, preparation of ethers. Okay. So number one method of preparation of ethers is by Williamson's synthesis. Right? Williamson's synthesis. Okay, so one of the methods of preparation of ethers is via Williamson's synthesis. Okay, is via Williamson's synthesis. So listen very carefully, just pay attention. Okay, so what are the reagents which are used out here? What are the reagents which are used? Okay, so here, what is this ion known as? What is this ion known as? What is this ion known as? We have done an entire chapter on this. What is this ion known as? Ro negative. Or if I have sodium ion out here, now you tell me which ion is this? This is known as what? Hey, tell me. Just now we have finished this chapter, this topic previously in the previous class. What is this ion known as? Ro negative. These are the salts of alcohols. These are known as alco oxide. These are known as alco oxide. ये सब भूल जाओगे तो बस हो जाएगा organic chemistry. Okay. So these are known as alco oxide. Ro negative are known as alco oxide. Or these are known as a sodium salt of alcohols. Sodium alco oxides. Now, to prepare ethers from Williamson synthesis, we treat an alco oxide ion with an alkyl halide. With an alkyl halide like this. With an alkyl halide. Okay, and the reaction occurs via SN2 mechanism. यहाँ पर क्या होगा? This alco oxide ion, it acts as a nucleophile because of the presence of negative charge. And here we know alkyl halides का जो bond है, carbon halogen bond, they are polar in nature. We know this fact. So what will happen? The alco oxide ion will attack the positively charged carbon atom, and there will be a loss of leaving group like this. There is a loss of leaving group. So attack of nucleophile and loss of leaving group taking place in the same step. So which mechanism is occurring out here? SN1 or SN2? कौन सा mechanism हो रहा है यहाँ पर? Which mechanism? Attack of nucleophile and loss of leaving group takes place in the same step. Yes? SN2 mechanism. Very good. SN2 mechanism is taking place. Okay. So here ethers are formed like this. The ethers are formed. Ethers are formed. Okay. So plus we get sodium salt like this, NaX. We get NaX like this. So in order to prepare ethers via Williamson synthesis, what do we require? क्या क्या लगेगा हम लोगों को? We require an alco oxide ion and we require an alkyl halide. So there are two alkyl groups. One alkyl group comes from your alkyl halide and the other alkyl group comes from your alco oxide ion. Okay. Now, so in order to prepare, see, so I'm going to give you the product now. Huh? So listen very carefully. So in order to prepare dimethyl ether or methoxymethane, what are the reagents required? Chala. Tell me what are the reagents required? There is a symmetrical ether, कोई problem नहीं होना चाहिए. What are the reagents required? Tell me. So we know to prepare an ether via Williamson synthesis, the starting compound, one of the starting compounds should be an alco oxide and the other should be a alkyl halide. So which alkyl halide will you take? So there are two methyl groups out here. So which alkyl halide will you take? So I'm going to take any one alkyl halide, say methyl iodide. I'm going to take this. And which alco oxide I'm going to take? Sodium methoxide. I'm going to take this sodium methoxide. Bas. I'll get your dimethyl ether like this. Okay. So remember, in order to prepare an ether via Williamson synthesis, Okay, alkoxide ion is reacted with the alkyl halide. Now, the problem comes when the alkyl groups are unsymmetrical like this. So listen very carefully. Okay, now how will you select the appropriate reagents now? How are you going to select the appropriate reagents? So will you take methyl halide and ethoxy, or alkoxide, ethoxide, or will you take ethyl halide and methoxide? That's an issue now, right? Okay, here to both the alkyl groups were symmetrical, so it was not a problem. Okay, but here, yes, there is a problem. So how are you going to select the reagents? How are you going to select the reagents now? Okay. So now, yes, there can be two sets of reagents now. So number one, I can select this plus. So this is one possibility. One alkyl group comes from your alkyl halide, the other comes from your alkoxide. Or else I can select CH3, CH2, ONA plus CH3I. So these are the two possibilities. These are my two possibilities. Okay, these are my two possibilities. Okay, so either I can select this or I can select this reagent. Now, which is the correct choice of reagents? Let us see. So please note that whenever the ethers are unsymmetrical, remember the smaller alkyl group. So just write it down. The smaller alkyl group must come from alkyl halide. The smaller alkyl group must come from your alkyl halide. Always remember, whenever you are preparing unsymmetrical ethers via Williamson synthesis, what are you going to remember? The smaller alkyl group must come from the alkyl halide. Okay. So which is the smaller alkyl group out here? Which is the smaller alkyl group? Methyl. So this methyl group must come from the alkyl halide. So we have to use methyl halide. So yes, this is the correct choice of reagent. The smaller alkyl group must come from the alkyl halide. So obviously the other alkyl group must come from your alkoxide. Got it? So this is how you select the appropriate set of reagents. So always remember the fact that, so this is your correct choice of reagent. The smaller alkyl group must come from your alkyl halide. Okay, now what am I going to do now? I'm going to give you the ethers. Now you select the appropriate reagents. Okay, so how will you prepare the following by using Williamson synthesis? Okay, how will you prepare the following by using Williamson synthesis? Right? For example, number one. So how are you going to prepare this? What is the name? 2-methoxypropane. So you select the appropriate reagents. Next, how are you going to prepare this? Tertiary butyl methyl ether or 2-methoxy 2-methyl ether. What will be the appropriate set of reagents? What will be the appropriate set of reagents? So what do we know now? We now know that the smaller alkyl group must always come from alkyl halide. Chalo. We know that the smaller alkyl group must always come from the alkyl halide. So yes, what is the appropriate set of reagents in the first one? Anyone? Yes? What is the appropriate set of reagents? Which is the smaller alkyl group? Methyl. So these methyl must come from your alkyl halide. So I will take methyl halide, methyl bromide. The smaller alkyl group must come from a alkyl halide. So obviously the other alkyl part must come from a alcohol oxide. So which alcohol oxide I'm going to write down? So it's so easy. They're gonna CH3, CH, CH3, ONA. But this is the appropriate set of reagents. Here again, which is the smaller alkyl group? Methyl group is the smaller alkyl group again. So the smaller alkyl group must come from a alkyl halide. Now I'm going to take methyl halide out here. You can take methyl bromide, methyl chloride, whatever. Okay, so the other alkyl group, the remaining part must come from the alcohol oxide. So this is the tertiary butyroxide. So here I'm going to take tertiary butyroxide like this. So these are the correct choice of reagents. These are the correct choice of reagents. Okay. Now you must be wondering why this? Why the smaller alkyl group must always come from the alkyl halide? So why can't this ether be formed if I use this set of reagents? If I use this, say the smaller alkyl group from alcohol oxide and the larger alkyl group from alkyl halide. Why can't I use this set of reagents? So why cannot I use this set of reagents? So will this ether be formed? Okay, so if I select the opposite, so here I have used the smaller alkyl group in the form of alcohol oxide, and I have used the larger alkyl group in the form of your alkyl halide. What we have learned in alkyl halide that, okay, what happens when alkyl halide are treated with alcoholic QH? Yes, someone please tell me. What happens when alkyl halide are treated with alcoholic QH? What happens? What happens when alkyl halide are treated with alcoholic QH?
Elimination. Yeah.
Elimination. And I told you, alcoholic QH means alcohol oxide ions are generated. An elimination reaction occurs. Very good. Perfect. Perfect. And what is the order of reactivity of alkyl halides towards elimination? Which alkyl halides are most reactive? What was the order of reactivity towards elimination? Batao to. The order of reactivity towards
3
elimination
degree.
was 3 degree
2 degree.
greater than 2 degree
2 degree.
greater than 1 degree. Very good, excellent. Okay, that was the order of reactivity. So here we have a 3 degree alkyl halide. Here we have a 3 degree alkyl halide. Yes, this is a 3 degree alkyl halide, and this acts as a very strong base. It acts as a very strong base. So now what happens here? 3 degree alkyl halide in presence of a base, they undergo what type of reaction? They undergo what reaction? In presence of a base, alcoholic QH, what happens to this 3 degree alkyl halide? It will undergo elimination reaction. So what will the product out here? How does elimination occur? Very easy. I have taught you the technique. Alpha carbon se halogen, beta carbon se hydrogen eliminate hoga. Yes, and in between the alpha and beta, a double bond will come. So we'll be getting this compound. So we cannot use this set of reagents. So what is the explanation? Because the explanation is your 3 degree alkyl halides undergoes elimination reaction in presence of a base. So why can't we use 3 degree alkyl halide? Because the explanation is 3 degree alkyl halides undergoes elimination reaction in presence of a base to form an alkene, What is? That is why it is said that the smaller alkyl group must come from an alkyl halide. Now, if I use this and methyl iodide, do you think this will undergo elimination? No. 1 degree alkyl halide, so they have a very less tendency to undergo elimination. So remember, the smaller alkyl group must always come from your alkyl halide. Okay, now I think it's understood. The reason is understood. So this question had come previously. Why this set of reagents cannot be used? Because if you use this set of reagents, then 3 degree alkyl halides, they undergo elimination to form an alkene like this. Okay, so now it seems easy. Williamson synthesis seems to be easy. Now, how are you going to prepare? How are you going to prepare anisole? OCH3. How are you going to prepare this anisole now? What are the reagents? What are the correct choice of reagents? What are the correct choice of reagents? Just tell me. Tell her. Now that you should be knowing. So one R part is your phenyl group, the other R part is your methyl. Which one is the smaller part? Which one is the smaller alkyl group?
Methyl.
Huh?
Methyl.
Methyl. So what is the choice of reagents? Yes, I'll be selecting the small alkyl group must come from alkyl halide. So I'll be using sodium phenoxide, alkoxide. Okay. So the common name of this compound is anisole. So if the question comes phenol to anisole, yes, we can easily do. पहले phenol को phenoxide ion में convert करो. पहले phenol को phenoxide ion में convert करो. Then phenoxide ion treat this with methyl iodide, you get anisole like this. Phenol to anisole. Okay. So this is all about your Williamson synthesis. Okay, this is all about your Williamson. So remember, in Williamson synthesis, if the ether prepared is unsymmetrical, if we are asked to prepare unsymmetrical ethers, then remember the smaller alkyl group has to come from your alkyl halide. Okay. And what acts as a nucleophile out here? Alkoxide ion acts as a nucleophile, and the reaction occurs by which mechanism? SN2 mechanism. So we have seen out here the reaction out here takes place by SN2 mechanism. Okay, the reaction occurs by SN2 mechanism out here. Okay. Now, for the time being, okay. So how will you do this? Starting from ethyl alcohol, how would you prepare ethoxyethane by Williamson's synthesis? Give it a try. Give it a try. Starting from ethyl alcohol, eh? The starting compound given is ethyl alcohol. Starting from ethyl alcohol, how would you prepare ethoxyethane by Williamson synthesis? कैसे करोगे? Now what you do is you try to solve all the questions from the past years, right? Preparation से जितना भी question आया ना Williamson synthesis से, common questions are there. Okay, so you try to solve majority of questions. Okay. Yes, Williamson synthesis say you are supposed to prepare ethoxy. You are supposed to prepare ethoxy means CH3CH2O, ethane means this. How are you going to prepare this? What will you require? Just tell me that. What will you require? Yes, Vidushi, yes. Please tell me what will you require? Ethoxyethane prepare करने के लिए via Williamson synthesis. What do you require? We have two alkyl groups of the same length. It's not a problem. So one of the alkyl group must come from an alkyl halide. So I'll be using ethyl halide. And the other alkyl group comes from an alkoxide. So I'll be taking ethyl sodium ethoxide bus. So I know now. I know these are the reagents. I know these are the reagents. But the question says, थोड़ा सा twist करके दिया है. The question says starting from ethyl alcohol. How are you going to prepare this compound? Now I know in order to prepare this compound, I need ethyl halide and need ethoxide ion. Now, is it possible? What is the starting compound given? The starting compound given is ethyl alcohol. The starting compound given is ethyl alcohol. Now you tell me, now you have an idea. In the first step, you are going to convert ethyl. So these two are required. By Williamson synthesis, these two are required. That means I need to first prepare this and this starting from ethyl alcohol. I need to prepare this one and this one starting from ethyl alcohol. Chalo. Now tell me now, how are you going to prepare ethyl iodide or ethyl bromide, whatever you like. Chalo, I've used I out here. So what is the reagent? What is the reagent out here? What is the reagent? Chalo, this should be in your fingertips. Chalo, bata do. What is the reagent? Chalo, bata do. Anishka, yes, tell me, what is the reagent out here? Alcohol to alkyl iodide. Yes. This should be in your fingertips. We have already done this chapter, eh?
Red phosphorus.
Yes.
Red phosphorus.
Red phosphorus and what? Red phosphorus and?
In the presence of iodide.
Iodine, or yes, you can directly write down PI3. ये तो किया था हम लोग ने. You can use PI3 or red phosphorus iodine. Very good. Chalo. Now, how will you prepare this starting from alcohol? Yes, tell me. Just give me the reagent. How will you prepare alkoxide? How will you prepare this? Chalo. We have studied alcohols are acidic in nature. This hydrogen is acidic in nature. So if I treat alcohol with a metallic sodium like this, alkoxide ions are formed. Right? Please don't forget this basics. Right? देखो ये basics काम में आ रहा है. So if you don't know these basics, no point of studying this. Right? ये याद करना पड़ेगा. We have done this already. We have studied the fact that alcohols are acidic in nature. So whenever alcohol saturated with metals, it forms alkoxide ion like this. So ethyl alcohol, I've converted into ethyl halide. Ethyl alcohol, I've converted into alkoxide ion. Now these two will react to give you this. So last reaction, I'll give this. So okay, I have prepared this. I have prepared this. So these two will finally react. So these two will finally react. Okay, so these two will finally react. Form an ether to form an ether like this. Okay, so these two will finally react to form an ether. Now, I'll give you one similar question like this. I'm going to give you one similar question. Okay. So write down the question now. So the concept is similar. So I've started with an easy problem. I've started with an easy one. Okay. Okay, now you try to do this on your own. I'm not going to help you out. Okay. So write the reactions of again Williamson's synthesis of 2-ethoxy 3-methyl pentane starting from starting compound is given, starting from ethanol and 3-methyl pentanol. Okay, chalo, do it. Okay, so starting compounds are given, the final compound to be prepared is also known. Eh? Okay, so let us see what is the ether to be formed. What's the ether? 2-ethoxy 3-methyl pentane. So I'll draw ethoxy. I'm going to draw ethoxy. And 3-methyl pentane. Pentane means I have a carbon atom of 5 carbon chains like this. Okay. 2-ethoxy, sorry. 2-ethoxy means this ethoxy group, 2-ethoxy means this ethoxy group will be attached to which carbon? To the second carbon like this. Ethoxy group will be attached to the second carbon. If there is a second carbon, third में क्या है? 3-methyl है. There is a methyl group out here. So now I'll fill up the vacancies out here, valencies. So this is the ether needs to be prepared. This is the ether needs to be prepared. So now the thing becomes quite easy now. This is the smaller alkyl group. This alkyl group must come from an alkyl halide. Chalo, this alkyl group must come from an alkyl halide. And the remaining part must come from your alkoxide. So this is the alkoxide ion. Alkoxide ion just draw CH, यहाँ पर O negative Na. So I drew the alkoxide ion which is required. Fine. So these are the set of reagents. Now starting compound are ethanol. So obviously now you tell me you are going to convert ethanol to what? Ethanol को किस में convert करोगे? You'll convert ethanol to what? These are the choice of reagents, right? Yes, ethanol to ethyl bromide. So I'll be using PbR3. Very good, excellent. देखो तो solve हो गया. What is the other compound? The other compound is 3-methyl pentanol. The other compound is 3-methyl pentanol. So if this is 3, so I'll draw 3-methyl, huh? Pentanol. So what will you convert this into? This you are going to convert into this alkoxide ion. Chalo, you treat this with sodium like this. So CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH, ONA, CH3. You are going to get this compound. You got the required compound from the set of reagents which are supplied. Now, ultimately, you are going to write down this reaction again at the end. Okay, so yes, this is all about here. These are all things, right? So what we studied then in alcohol chapter that when alcohols are treated with conc H2SO4 at a temperature of around 443 Kelvin, what happens? Alcohols, they undergo dehydration reaction in presence of conc H2SO4. And how does dehydration occur? Again, सेजेफ रूल किया था, हम लोग ने alkenes predict किया था. अल्फा कार्बन से OH निकल जाएगा, बीटा कार्बन से H निकल जाएगा, and अल्फा और बीटा के बीच में क्या आएगा? डबल बॉन्ड CH2 डबल बॉन्ड CH2. So यहाँ पर dehydration हो रहा है within the same molecule. However, when alcohols are treated again with the same conc H2SO4 but at a much lower temperature of 413 Kelvin. What is the temperature now? Everything else is same, just the temperature are different. So यहाँ पर क्या होगा? Intermolecular dehydration occurs. Intermolecular means your water molecule will get eliminated from two molecules of ethyl alcohol like this. Water molecule will get eliminated from two molecules of ethyl alcohol. So H2 eliminate हो रहा है. So what is found out here? Yes, here ethers are formed. Right? So the reaction depends upon the temperature. It is temperature dependent. At a higher temperature, intramolecular dehydration occurs to give an alkene, whereas at a lower temperature of 413 Kelvin, intermolecular dehydration occurs to form an ether. Right? And yes, someone should be knowing this. I expect. What is the order of dehydration of alcohols? What is the order of reactivity towards dehydration? What was the order of reactivity towards dehydration reaction? Yes, what was the order of reactivity towards dehydration? Dehydration of alcohols. So we have done 1 degree alcohol, conc H2SO4, 443 Kelvin, 2 degree alcohols, 60% H2SO4 at a much lower temperature, and tertiary alcohols, 20% sulfuric acid at a very low temperature, 663 Kelvin. I remember it. Okay, so you should remember, right? So remember the order of reactivity towards dehydration is, so 3 degree alcohols are very prone to dehydration. They readily undergo dehydration, followed by 2 degree, followed by 1 degree alcohol. So this is the order of reactivity. This is the order of reactivity. Okay. Now I gave you the order of reactivity. So do you think ethers can be formed by taking 3 degree alcohols out here? Do you think 3 degree alcohols can be used to prepare ether by this method? No. 3 degree alcohols cannot be used. Why? Because if you take 3 degree alcohols, under the reaction condition, they readily undergo dehydration. So remember, note down this thing. Okay, note down this thing. Here, tertiary alcohols, tertiary and secondary alcohols, okay, cannot be used to prepare ether. It cannot be used to prepare ether since they readily, what will happen to them if you use 3 degree and 2 degree alcohols? Since they readily undergo dehydration, to form what? What do they give then? If I take 3 degree and 2 degree alcohols, they readily undergo intramolecular dehydration to form alkenes. So this is the limitation of this method. This is the limitation of this method. So yes, we can prepare ethers by taking only primary alcohols, because primary alcohols are least reactive towards dehydration reaction. But however, if I attempt to take 2 degree and 3 degree alcohols, they will readily undergo dehydration to form an alkene. They will not give ethers. Rather, they will give us here alkene like this. Okay, so only primary alcohols can be used, right? Okay, now another important topic from here. Usually what type of questions will come? Okay, so you have to remember the reaction condition. So first limitation is this. Second limitation is only symmetrical ethers can be formed. Only symmetrical ethers can be formed. Okay. Now, so in the year 2019, okay, one question had come from here. Okay, 3 marks ka question or 2 marks ka question. Okay. So write down the mechanism for formation of ethoxyethane starting from ethyl alcohol, not by Williamson synthesis. Okay, so let us see the mechanism. Let us see the mechanism now. So this question had coming. This question had come previously. Okay, so now we are supposed to provide a mechanism for this reaction. So we have ethyl alcohol out here. So how many ethyl alcohol do we use? Two. Reaction condition, Kong. Temperature, lower temperature, 413 Kelvin. This. Okay, so this is the reaction. Now, what else we do? Now we'll study the mechanism of the reaction. We'll study the mechanism of the reaction. Mechanism means it tells us the steps. Okay, it gives us the step as to how this reaction proceeds. Okay. Now, at first, we know this conc H2SO4, it behaves as a protonic acid. Eh? So it will dissociate at first to give us H positive ion and HSO4 negative ion. It will dissociate to give us a proton H positive and HSO4 negative ion. Okay. So how does the reaction occur? Let us see. Okay. So what happens in the first step? Step 1. So step 1 में क्या होगा? Protonation of alcohol. Protonation of alcohol. Right? So what does this mean? So I have taken two molecules of alcohol. Right? So CH3, CH2, OH. So it contains protonation means it's treated with the proton H positive. Now, from the little chemistry we have studied, just tell me, where do you think this proton is going to attack? Where do you think this proton is going to attack? Is it going to attack this hydrogen or oxygen or carbon?
Oxygen.
Why? Very good, excellent. Yes. Why do you think so?
Because of the lone pair of electrons.
Yes, because oxygen contains lone pair of electrons. So protonation of alcohol means this oxygen will get protonated because this oxygen contains a lone pair. So it will form a bond with this proton through this lone pair of electron like this. Okay, so whatever species will be formed now, CH3, CH2, we have oxygen. So one lone pair is used to form a bond with this hydrogen. So oxygen contains only one lone pair now. The other lone pair is utilized in forming a. Tell me, this oxygen contains how many electrons in its outermost shell now? Oxygen belongs to group 16. It should have 6 electrons. Here, there are 5 electrons. 1, 2, 3 bonds. In order to form 3 bonds, it uses 3 electrons. 3 plus 2, 5. That means it is 1 electron short. So it will be a positive charge like this. It will be a positive charge. Okay. So this is the first step. Now what happens in step 2? Step 2 में क्या होगा? So nucleophilic attack, okay, by second alcohol molecule. So again, remember we have used 2 alcohol molecules. So one alcohol molecule gets protonated like this. Now the second alcohol molecule, it behaves as a nucleophile. Why? Because it contains again a lone pair of electrons and the species containing the nucleophile. Now this is going to attack this protonated alcohol like this. It's going to attack this protonated alcohol. So we have H out here, we have H out here. Okay, now how is it going to attack? Now through this lone pair, this oxygen will attack this, and there is going to be a loss of water. So again, nucleophilic attack and loss of leaving group takes place in the same step. एकदम डिटेल्स में क्वेश्चन आएगा सपोज बोर्ड्स में. This type of questions are going to come. Mechanism से क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर? One alcohol molecule gets protonated. The second alcohol molecule behaves as a nucleophile. It will attack the protonated alcohol like this. And here the attack of nucleophile and loss of leaving group is taking place. The same step means it is taking place by which mechanism? कौन सा mechanism follow हो रहा है यहाँ पर?
SN2.
SN2. Very good. SN2 reaction follower. Yes. Now what do we get now? So we have CH3, CH2. Now this oxygen again forms a bond with other alkyl group, but oxygen still contains a positive charge. Eh? Oxygen still contains a positive charge. Okay. So इसका खाली एक lone pair है, 5 ही electron है इसका. So the last step, step 3. Now you must be wondering, चलो प्रोटॉन का तो काम में आया प्रोटॉन. What about this bisulfate anion? इसका तो कोई काम नहीं है. Where will this bisulfate go? Just disappear like that? No. Okay, so what happens? Now in the third step, now this proton will get lost. Okay, so loss of proton to form an ether. Loss of proton to form an ether. Okay. So ultimately what will happen? Ultimately what is going to happen? We have CH3, CH2, O. Now this bisulfide ion which was formed in the first step. Okay, what will it do now? It will abstract a proton. Proton means hydrogen without its electron. And ये जो दो electron है यहाँ का, it will go to oxygen like this. दो electron तो already था. These 2 electrons will go to oxygen. So what is formed? H2SO4 again is regenerated. Okay, so there will be a loss of proton and ultimately here ethers will be formed like this. Ultimately ethers will be formed. So this is a detailed mechanism which shows the formation of ether starting from alcohol molecule. Okay, and there is a frequent asked question in your boards level. Okay, there is a frequently asked question. So remember, at a temperature of 413 Kelvin, 2 alcohol molecules are used. Okay, they will undergo intermolecular dehydration. Means दो alcohol में से एक water molecule eliminate होगा and ethers will be formed. And this is how the ethers are formed. First में होगा sulfuric acid ionized होकर proton देगा, protonation of alcohol. Second alcohol molecule behaves as a nucleophile. It will attack the first protonated alcohol by SN2 mechanism. Last में there will be a deprotonation to form an ether like this. Okay. So yes, closely. Okay, so let me just discuss a little bit of chemical property, then I'll end the class. Okay, मतलब पूरा नहीं करूँगा मैं, just एक ही topic करवाऊँगा. Major topic last next class में करवाऊँगा मैं. Chemical properties. Chemical. Now, as we have seen the structure of ether, it contains a lone pair of electrons. So they are electron pair donors, or they act as a Lewis base. They act as a Lewis base. Okay, due to the presence of lone pair, they act as a Lewis base. Okay, so they react with protons. They react with protons like this. They react with protons. Ethers, they react with acids like this. Okay, again this acid will attack this lone pair of electron to form a class of compounds, like this, and these class of compounds are known as your oxonium, oxonium salts. Oxonium. So if I have H positive, X negative, यहाँ पर X negative होगा. So oxonium salts. These are class of compounds are known as your oxonium salts. Okay, so ethers, yes, they react with mineral acids like this. For example, if I have this CH3O, CH3, H2SO4, what do you think will be the product now? What do you think will be the product? So protonation होगा यहाँ पर, protonation होगा any acid तो दिया proton donor, so proton यहाँ लगेगा oxygen में. So what will be formed out here? CH3O, CH3, यहाँ पर proton लगेगा, यहाँ पर positive होगा. What will remain after donation of proton? What will remain out here? After H2S4 donates a proton, what is the anionic part which will remain?
HSO4 minus.
HSO4 negative ion. So it's known as a dimethyl oxonium hydrogen sulfate. It's known as a dimethyl oxonium hydrogen sulfate. Dimethyl oxonium hydrogen sulfate. Okay, as simple as this. So similarly, say methyl phenyl ether like this. Methyl phenyl ether. Say it reacts with HCl. So let's predict the compound, predict the product. So in the same way, yes, again the proton will get attached itself to the oxygen like this. So we have CH3. Okay, so it's Cl link. So what is this compound known as? Methyl phenyl oxonium chloride. It's known as a methyl phenyl oxonium chloride. Okay, it's known as a methyl phenyl oxonium. Why methyl first? M comes first. Methyl phenyl oxonium chloride. Methyl phenyl oxonium chloride. Okay. So let us keep the discussion till here. Okay, so I'll just leave you early today. I have some